Assalamu alaikum, dear viewers, and welcome to Kalishnakovia, the show where we're going to be talking and expanding on the Holy Quran in ways that you might never have heard before. Sheikh Muzaffar at your service. Here in the studio, we have with us our very own Sayyid Abdullah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum
Thank you for
salam.
having me.
My
as
dear
always.
friend, comrade. Okay, so the Holy Quran talks about Sabr. It talks about patience. Inna Allah ma'as sabirin. Surely Allah is with the patient. And I want to say that this is one of those instances where the word sabr is actually not translated correctly. Now, you go to any of the translations, it will always say patience. Even in lectures, dear Sayyid, when I'm talking about verses where it uses the word sabr in Arabic, I translate it as patience.
Yeah.
So it's a very normal thing that we've gotten into. However, it's not the correct translation because sabr, in that sense, means to be steadfast. It means to be persistent, persevering. Patience, on the other hand, it means to sit and wait for a train to
swallow it
come.
and keep it quiet.
Yeah. Somebody hits you. Ow. I'm going to be patient. I'm going to turn the other cheek, for example. Which, of course, turning the other cheek is a very Christian ideology because we've spent time in Western countries, and I was born in the West as well. You're from Australia. And so the Christian narrative often prevails over a lot of what we do,
Precisely.
the way that we think. And so this is one of those things. Forgive those who trespass against us. In Islam, Islam is the religion of justice. And it says that if somebody attacks you, you need to attack back. You have to, in fact,
من
defend
اعتدى
yourself.
عليكم فاعتدوا عليه بمثل ما اعتدى عليكم.
There you go. If you could translate that.
So the Quran says whoever transgress against you, transgress against them in the same way they transgressed against you.
Yeah. I don't think transgress is the right word because...
اعتدى, obviously, اعتداء is like when someone attacks you.
Yeah,
So
attacks
obviously, this is my own translation, but the concept is that when you get attacked, when someone hurts you, when someone hits you, when someone fights you, you need to fight them in the exact same manner that they did towards you, not to be passive or just take it and keep quiet. Like, I'm just going to be patient.
But say
No.
sometimes, I was told when I was younger that an eye for an eye makes the entire world blind.
Blind.
Two wrongs don't make a right.
Right. Yes.
If you're bullied in school, go and tell the teacher.
Yeah.
It never works.
never works.
It never works.
No, so the world becomes one-eyed anyway if you don't do that method. See, the thing is, like, you do something to harm me, and I harm you back. I make an example of you for everyone else not to do what you did. I make a better society. I turn a blind eye to it. I give the right to everyone to do what you did. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when he says, do it, whatever you do back to them, even it says, even when it comes to salam, فَإِذَا حَيِّتُمْ بِتَحِيَّةٍ فَحَيُّوا بِأَحْسَنَ مِنْهَا أَوْ رُدُّوهَا. Either you reply with something better in terms of greeting, or at least the same one, right? So when it comes to that, the same thing. When it comes to even verbal cursing, in terms of jurisprudence, you're allowed to say the exact same thing that was said to you. Even though Allah says, وَإِن تَعْفُوا, if you forgive is much better. But at the end of the day, this turning a blind cheek doesn't work with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because you're going to create wusses out of society. Like, just they're going to be a group of people bullying the rest, and the rest, because they have to be patient, they're just going to keep it quiet. What am I supposed to do about it? And this is the affair. This is the Muslim Ummah now. They are in this state, right? They think they are being patient, and obviously we can't do much, so we're just going to be patient. اصبر إن الله مع الصابرين. No. That's exactly what you said. This is what Allah is saying, isbiru here.
Ahsant.
This is sabr. It's not just to sit and be idle. It's sabr for you to fight and be steadfast. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the concept of you turning the blind cheek, just keeping quiet, suffering for the sake of Allah silently, doesn't work for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. No prophet did that. No imam did that. So what makes you think that you know better than them? So again, when it comes to the concept of patient, is that it's actually a fight, right? So when Allah talks about the people of Talut, the people of Jalut and Talut, when they were facing each other. قالوا ربنا ثبت أقدامنا وانصرنا. So there's this thabat,
Yeah.
right? That you need to be steadfast.
Yeah. And they prayed to their Lord and they said, "Oh Allah, oh our Lord, make firm our feet."
Yeah.
Firm.
Yeah.
Unshakable. And pour down upon us patience.
Yeah, and then you see a lot of versions of the Quran where the fight is saying to Allah, "Oh Allah, irziqna sabr," right? Give us patience. Give us patience. Give us patience. Wa aqimus salat wa aqimus zakat. And then Allah talks about sabr right after, right? In chapter Al-Asr, for example, Allah talks about sabr. Always patience comes in. A lot of people, like I said, they assume that patience in this regard is just you just being patient.
Yeah, it says وَتَوَاسَوْا بِالْحَقِّ وَتَوَاسَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ. And this is really beautiful. Now that you mention it, because look at the way that the Quran talks about these things. That's when you'll actually understand what Allah is saying. The translation is not sufficient. I'm not saying it's not sufficient in the sense that
At some parts
you need
it's
to learn
patient. At some part it's patient, but at the majority of the Quran is steadfastness.
So, for example, it says وَتَوَاسَوْا بِالْحَقِّ وَتَوَاسَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ. Why? Because when you enjoin haqq, the truth, what's going to happen? See?
You require patience because you're going to get hit hard.
You're going to get hit. Nobody likes the truth.
Yeah.
And the common masses in today's world, alhamdulillah, mashallah, are starting to wake up. But guess what? The politicians don't like it. Those who own the media don't like it. Loads of people don't like it who are in authority positions. You're going to get hit if you talk about the truth. What's going to happen? You need to have sabr, not patience, steadfastness, perseverance. And you reminded me also, sabr is employed precisely in the context of fighting, of resisting.
Yeah.
رَبَّنَا أَفْرِغْ عَلَيْنَا صَبْرًا. Oh Allah, pour down upon us what? Not patience, steadfastness. Who's saying that? The army of Talut.
Yeah.
Who, of course, were 313 if you go to the tafsir. So a repetition of that is going to happen in the end of times. But definitely we need to readjust the way that we view the entire Quran.
Yeah.
Because as long as we're just telling our youths, just be patient, they're going to get hit again. I remember telling some youths that if, and Sayyid, you got to tell me if you agree with me or not, okay? But
definitely I will.
I want to tell the youths out there, if you are getting bullied in school, a lot of teachers, a lot of carers might disagree with this. It's a tried and proven method. If somebody hits you, you do not hesitate. You hit them back very hard, immediately.
Yeah.
They will never touch you again.
Sure.
That's the cure. Not to just be like, oh, I'm a Muslim.
Look,
I'm going to be patient.
I agree and disagree with you at the
Bismillah.
same time, right? I agree with you that it depends on certain age, right? Because sometimes I have a lot of young kids asking me the same question, right? Because sometimes the bully could be, if they hit back, they could get really hurt because they're young. I'm like, go tell someone. But if you're an adult or you're a teenager and you pass that childhood phase, like let's say you're over 10, over 13 years. No, at this age, you need to attack back. You know what I mean? So anything younger than this, they wouldn't understand how to balance things. So they could get themselves in a lot of harm. So they can go and get someone involved. But once you hit 13 and plus, no, that's when you punch back.
It's a very good point. And actually, you've highlighted something even more important, which is this development was supposed to have taken place in every human being, not just Muslims especially, but in every human being. When you're a child, there are different rules. And when you grow older, you should mature to understand how to deal with people who are oppressive against you.
Yeah, and sometimes, because I'm saying this because I've seen circumstances where little kids were encouraged by their parents to not be, if someone bullies them, to attack back. And I've seen a devastating accident happened, where a guy, for example, he got bullied. He was very young, right? He's under the age of 10. He got bullied, but his parents gave him this. He took someone's eyes out completely. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I've seen people who got, for example, stabbed, or people even to the point of one kid kills another kid, because they still, their mind and their brains they're not functioning very well yet, so they don't understand how to balance their response.
I think that speaks to what you said previously about the Quran telling us respond with the like of what you were attacked
but
with.
that's once you become baligh and mature, then no, then differ. So, for example, girls become mature Islamically by the age of 9, boys become mature by the age of 15, and they could become mature even by 13, depends on the signs, right?
Yeah.
So at that age, no, you're mature. From here, you take on control of your life, and then obviously that turning a blind cheek or just like not responding, it doesn't work anymore.
And I think it would apply completely differently to sisters as well. When it's brothers, it's usually more of a physical assault, but with sisters, it's going to be manifested in a different way. Now, dear sisters out there, you know, some of them are being oppressed over and over and over again. Some of them by their mother-in-laws. We're treading. We can talk about all the politics in the world, but if we go into the in-laws, that's where it really becomes controversial. But whoever it is, it might be a family member, and they are oppressing you. You can't allow yourself to become walked all over.
Yeah.
Because the world is like that. It will walk all over you.
Yep.
There has to come a breaking point where you say, enough is enough. I need to stand up against this. And I think that's something that people are only going to learn through practice. You have to learn how to hold your head up high. Islam teaches you not to have arrogance. Arrogance is a terrible thing, but it does teach you to have izzah, pride.
You're right. Yeah.
And it's interesting that you mentioned about cursing. So if somebody curses you, you have to curse them back. I would like to add that sometimes that it's not always a curse back, but sometimes it's a really good response.
Yeah, a comeback.
A comeback. You have to come with
something
a comeback that makes everybody go, ooh.
Yeah.
I'll give you one. Imam alayhi salam was insulted, and somebody insulted his blessed mother. I think they said something like, "Oh, that dark so and so," because you know that the Imams alayhimus salam, their mothers had dark skin.
Yeah, some of them were from Africa.
That's no insult, but for those, unfortunately, Arabs, and they were very jahil at that time.
Yeah.
Nothing's changed, Sayyid. It's the same world.
So,
same jahiliyyah.
Just in different color.
But they insulted the blessed mother of the Imam of the time, alayhi salam. How did he reply? He said, if what you say about her, about me is true, then may Allah forgive me. If what you say about me is false, then may Allah forgive you. So this guy was so rude. He went step by step. First, he insulted a certain element of the Prophet, of the Imam. Then he insulted his mother. Then he came and he said something even worse. At this point, the Imam gave him such a perfect response.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the guy. I think he also said to him, he said to him, "Ibn Tabakha, you the son of a cook." He's like, "That's her trade."
Son of a what?
The cook.
Yeah, that's the one.
Right?
That's the one I was looking
for.
That's son.
Like, how is that an insult? That's her trade. It's like I call you're a scholar. It's like, yeah, I am a scholar. That's my trade. That's not an insult. So the Ahlul Bayt salam, they have this comebacks, right? Yeah, like you said. But so at the end of the day, even if it's a verbal abuse, you could reply back. Obviously, Islamically, if someone curses, like use foul language, we're not supposed to use foul language back. But at least you can reply back. You can give a comeback that will keep them quiet.
I think just recently we've got a really good example in the modern world where Trump said that Iran should give its unconditional surrender. What did Imam Khamenei say? He said, these words are too big for the president's mouth.
Yeah, they are too big for his mouth. Actually, lately there has been this like ping pong between him and Trump, where Sayyid says something and Trump loses it. He just loses it. Like Sayyid announced victory, and he lost it. You know, it's like, I know where you're hiding. I could have hit you. I could have done this. I could have done that. And you can tell, like, just few calm words from the Sayyid, it just made this guy boil.
I think some of the people in the Muslim Ummah, unfortunately, they think that if we are made fun out of, Like sometimes what happens is their attacks against us are not just verbal, but they make fun out of us.
Yeah.
They mock God, they mock the Prophet, they mock Prophet Jesus all the time in the Western world,
Yeah,
unfortunately. They mock the deen, they mock our great scholars. Now, we think, oh no, we're going to be patient. Again, it's that same thing. We're going to be patient. No. No, we need to mock them back.
Precisely.
There's a verse of the Quran. I think it's specific to Prophet Nuh alayhi salam. As you know, one of the crimes of his civilization is that they would do a lot of mockery. A lot of mockery. So what does he say? We are going, if you're laughing at us, we're also going to laugh at you. Kama tasqarun, like you are laughing at us.
Yeah.
So even in that sense, Islam teaches us to mock them back. They're making fun out of us. Where are our cartoons, Sayyid? Why are we not making any cartoons to fire back at the enemy? Why are we not making any comedic sketches to make fun out of them?
Yeah.
It's very strange.
It is very strange. It's just because we've sold out. Let me just put it that way. We sold out. We have nothing. The enemy came, and then we literally we made a deal with the devil that, look, I'll give you my faith, give me jeans and McDonald's. And that's what we did. We took whatever junk they had, and we gave our faith in return. So now we're just Muslim by name. And you know, you've heard the hadith before many times. It's like, لا يبقى من الإسلام إلا اسمه ومن القرآن إلا رسمه. The only thing that would remain from Islam is just a name, and from the Quran is a text. As far as values, we have no values. So why am I going to attack back? No, actually, I'm going to invite Disney and DreamWorks and Pixar to come and educate my kids. So because we sold out. That's the sad reality of it. We don't have a Muslim nation that actually thinks for itself, that's independent, that can fight back. We're good at just getting angry at times. That's about it. It's like sometimes when the Quran gets burned, you see everyone just going, like going in a hawk mode, and let's kill this and burn that. Or if, like, you know, they make an image of the Prophet in a newspaper, everyone goes, ugh. But when the values of Islam gets attacked, no one seems to care. No one seems to want to fight back.
Well, Sayyid, there's also a verse of the Quran which tells us that if they insult Allah, do not insult their gods.
So they don't insult Allah.
Because they might end up turning and insulting Allah.
Yeah.
Now, where would this apply then? There are certain cases where even if they have the most silly ideologies, even if they have the most silly idols, we're not supposed to insult those idols.
No. So there's a difference between insulting an idol and being intellectual about it. Right. So sometimes when you see people, and this is what the media is doing. So, for example, if you look at the cartoon, and I'm a very big fan of cartoons. I always watch cartoons so I can see what's going on. With cartoons, when they want to bring a concept forward, they don't say, this is what we're trying to do. And then, you know, they make the characters play the thing they want to show. They play it like from very far away. Mm-hmm. Right? It just doesn't show. For example, the recent Mulan movie they made, not the cartoon, the live action Mulan made, they were promoting homosexuality, right?
You didn't have to tell me. I haven't seen it. I haven't even looked at the trailer, but I'm guessing that's what they were doing.
Trying to promote homosexuality in a very cunning way where, she's a lady, but she's a guy, and she's in love with another guy. So as a kid, all you're going to see is two guys because Mulan changed herself into a guy. So for the entire movie, you're just seeing two guys together or two guys having a fling with each other. So that's how they do it. They don't say to you, you know what? So when you want to, for example, when we want to discuss other people religions, for example, those who worship monkeys and cows and dogs and what have you, or other faiths, we're not going to go say, your God is stupid. How could you have a God that's a cow or a rat? No. You just do it in a way where you deliver the picture without them noticing. You know the story of Imam Hassan and Hussein when they saw this old man doing his wudu wrong? They didn't come to him directly and said, old man, your wudu is wrong. They said to him, old man, look, me and my brother were having a debate. he said, my wudu is correct. I said, my wudu is correct. Can we do wudu in front of you and you tell us who's correct? He's like, oh, by all means. So Imam Hassan did his wudu. Imam Hassan did his wudu, and they were both correct. The man looked at them and was like, you know what? My wudu is wrong. So this is how you pass the picture to others.
In the previous discussion, you were saying how when it comes to nahi anil munkar, we should just be straightforward. We are going to be harmed in Allah's way, and we shouldn't be afraid of that. But now you're saying that there is a more subtle approach to do it.
No. So,
shirk is one of the biggest sins, man.
No. So the thing is, like I said, sometimes because you're talking about media, how we attack back. See, sometimes when it comes to putting things, as we say, dots on the letters, because it's an Arabic thing, not an English thing. When you want to put dot on the letters, you have to say it for what it is. So I say to you, look, brother, you believe in a Buddha, and I believe this is wrong. Buddha is not a god. You're worshiping a statue. And I'm willing to debate you intellectually about this. And I'm not going to accept that. You know what I mean? And I'm saying, oh, you know what? You're free to believe whatever you want to believe. If that makes you happy, by all means. That's what I'm saying. It's like when something is bad, you need to say it's bad. But how you say it's bad is like, obviously, it depends on where we are, depends on the circumstances of the environment. Sometimes I need to launch rockets at you to prove a point. Sometimes no, I have to be direct, but not to accept. So even Allah says, قُلْ تَعَالُوا يَا أَهْلِ الْكِتَابِ تَعَالُوا إِلَى كَلِمَةٌ سَوَاءٌ بَيْنَنَا وَبَيْنَكُمْ. We sit, we discuss. Not that you walk all over me.
Sorry, Sayyid, the
or
translation
I'll walk
of
over
that
you.
verse.
It's like, come to a word between us that we worship only one God.
Yeah, and
so
this is addressing Ahl Kitab.
Ahl Kitab. So let's sit and talk. Talking based on the fact that you believe in your own God, I believe in mine. But we try to come to a middle term. Not that you walk all over me.
At the very least, we all believe in one God.
Even, for example, in the Sayyid Ali Khamenei, when he announced the Week of Unity. Week of Unity, it does not mean that I'm going to compromise on my faith to make you happy, nor should you compromise on yours to make me happy. No. First, let's establish the fact that you have a belief and ideology and I have one. Mine is against yours. So how can we come to terms? So first, establishing that fact that I have my own faith. I'm not going to compromise on that. So, but what happens with a lot of people, with a lot of Muslims, they compromising on their faith.
Yeah.
And saying, no, do not compromise. Say it for what it is. I'm not going to let you walk all over me. And how you present yourself is how I'm going to present myself. You go higher, I go higher. You know, punch for a punch.
Yeah.
But to begin with, we're trying to create a middle ground.
Yeah.
So not to just to do what the Muslims are doing now. Just sleep and let them walk all over you. Like, you know, the Trump comes and turns you into a milking cow and he milks you whenever he wants and he goes. No, that's not going to happen.
And I think an important point to bring this back to is to, in this path, be steadfast. I think the really beautiful hadith that Imam Ali alayhi salam says, where he says, there are 5 things that require your greatest anxiety to acquire them. I'm not going to say 1, 2, 3, or 4. I'm just going to tell you the 5th one, which is acquire sabr. It's translated as patience. Sabr.
Yeah.
Why? Its relation with faith is like that of a head to a body.
Yeah.
A body can't survive without a head.
True.
Similarly, faith, iman, it can't survive without sabr, steadfastness. So when you embark on this journey, you're going to have to be super steadfast.
Yeah.
Super persevere. Subhanallah, it's like a workout. You have to put... Do you say, oh, you know, you're going to be patient when you're working out? No. No. Has your trainer ever told you in the gym, Sayyid, that you need to be patient? No. He's told you you need to be steadfast.
Yeah. Actually, they said to push
harder.
not be patient.
Yeah.
Push harder.
That's what sabr is all about.
Yelling at you, actually, at the gym.
Allah is our personal trainer, and He is yelling at us. Be steadfast.
Yeah, you do the same thing when you study, for example.
In one place in the Quran, He says, have such a great patience, not just any old patience. Astaghfirullah. See, you always revert to the word patience because that's how it's translated. Have so much sabr, have so much steadfastness, like those who ulul azm min al-rusul. Have sabr like not just the prophets.
Yeah.
but the ulul azm,
The chosen ones.
the greatest of the great, the
Yeah.
highest of the high prophets.
Yeah.
And there's only 5 of them. Prophet Nuh and Ibrahim and Musa and Isa and Muhammad al-Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam have that level of sabr. That can't be just patience in the way that the casual, normal scholars, that your resident alims and your general preachers are talking. It's talking about an entirely different concept.
And
resistance.
you know, like, for example, Nuh alayhi salam. You mentioned Nuh alayhi salam. So Nuh, in the chapter of Nuh, he says, "Oh God, I have invited my people day, night, you know, like in secrecy, in loudness." He was doing it in all different types. So during the day he would do it, during the night he would do it. He would go and whisper to people, and he would go yell at people. So he's like, in every way I'm doing
Publicly
it.
and privately, in every possible way I've told these people.
And he was doing it for at least 950 years, right? And this is what his sabr meant. He was steadfast, not that he was patient. Like, okay, people are gonna mock me for building a ship in a desert, I'm just gonna go with the flow. No. He was doing his job, preaching for 950 years, and suffering on a daily basis based on that, whether it's during the day or during the night, whether he's talking to a private group or talking to the public. So a sabr in this case, not that he just kept it quiet. No.
Because in other places, the Quran tells you wait. It tells wait. Tell them to wait. And we too are waiting. And it tells you patience would apply there in the sense that you think of the word patience. But when you're talking about somebody like Nuh, or what the prophets and the Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam were doing, that's steadfastness. And the example that you gave is fantastic, because it illustrates this point that Prophet Nuh was not being patient. He had patience as well, but more than that, he had steadfastness. Every day going out, dragging yourself out, trying to wake people up. He did it in the night. He did it in the day. He did it publicly and he did it privately.
Okay, it's like another verse just came.
Over and over again.
Another verse just come to mind as well. وَأْمُرْ أَهْلَكَ بِالصَّلَاةِ وَاسْطَبِرْ عَلَيْهَا. Like what Allah's like, okay, tell them to pray and then just be patient. No, be perseverance about it. Like keep going on and on and on.
This verse speaks volumes, Sayyid, because when you tell your family to pray or to establish salah, rather, in the house, you do it once, you give up. No, I'll be patient. I've told them that once.
I'm just going to keep quiet. I'm just going to keep more.
No, man, you got to be on it.
Yeah, that's it.
Every day you got to be like, hey, it's salah time, guys. This is a household of salah. We have to establish the salah here.
You have to keep fighting for it. So again, like you said, so sabr in this context of the Quran, it means steadfastness. Sometimes it even could mean jihad. It could mean even fighting for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, depending on the context of the verse. But like I said, sadly, it's been translated into patient. Because a lot of people who translate these books.
Look at the verses where it's actually literally talking about the concept of physical jihad against the enemies, and it tells you very clearly that if there were this many sabirun among you, sabirun, those who are doing sabr, then you would have defeated this many of the enemies, right? For example, if there were 100 of you, you would have defeated 1,000 of them, for example. You translate it as patience. It makes no sense at all.
It doesn't.
So you have soldiers who are like, oh, I'm just waiting.
I'm going to be patient.
I'm waiting. Oh, you have this type of soldier. You're going to win a battle, Sayyid?
Yeah.
Does that make any sense?
No, so you come and hit me and wound me.
They're throwing arrows at us.
And I'm patient.
An arrow just hit me, but I'm being patient.
I'm patient.
I'm patient.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense at all. No, it's talking about sabr, which means steadfastness. Those who can, كَأَنَّهُمْ بُنْيَانٌ مَرْصُوصٌ. They form neatly compact walls.
Yeah.
Don't mention the movie, Sayyid. I know you're really wanting to mention the movie, but you might have seen these scenes where they lock their shields and they hold out their spears and they push the enemies. Even though there's a small number of them, they are able to persevere because they have that sabr. They can steadfastly keep pushing against the enemy.
And Pretty much. That's how the Quran says, وَكَم مِّن فِئَةٍ قَلِيلَةٍ. Right? How many, like a small group, have achieved victory over a big group? And the only reason that is that they do that because they have that steadfastness, they have that sabr. And like I said, the Quran keeps going on and on about this. So it doesn't matter how big your number are. If you really persevere, you'll make it.
That's unfortunately all we have time for today. I think that's a really good and powerful, punchy point to end on. Dear viewers, we hope that you enjoyed and benefited from today's session. If you do have any questions or queries, do not hesitate to put them in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe and share this with your loved ones. From myself and from our dear Sayyid, we bid you Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.